Okay, guys. Hey, before we start the team Zoom real quick, Sandra Delbeck, who is right up there, is going to share with you some information about an app. So hit it, Sandra.
Okay, so I saw this thing in my Facebook about positive motivation each day and like I am statements. And so I downloaded this app. I will screenshot what it looks like and post it over in Dream Team. And you can choose the category that you want. But I swear this thing knows what my thoughts are. And every single one and they come in periodically through the day just to keep those positive IMs going throughout the whole day. Y'all, this app is awesome.
Maybe your phone is listening to you.
Maybe, but I mean, it is like, holy smokeroonies.
What did you say the name of it?
No, because I can't think of it right now, but I'll post a screenshot of, well, and I may be home before the Zoom is over and I'll put it in the chat group.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Let me, oh, sorry. I hit the button, Sandra. Just ignore that. Okay. All right, guys. Welcome to our Monday night team Zoom. It is October 26th. Mind-boggling. As much as I feel like 2020 has kind of been a cluster, it's also flying by. Tonight's topic that I put in the title was that you're building a business, you're not desperate for business. There's a really big difference. And I think after talking to a lot of people this weekend, let me turn this phone off. I thought I had my ringer off. There's such, I don't know, it's like a feeling of desperation. Like people think that they have to be desperate for business or they're not going to make, their rank, or they got to be desperate or they're not going to make a trip. Incentives and bonuses are there to help boost you when you need that. If you're in a rut and you need something to chase, some people are motivated by them, some people aren't. But the deal is, if you're constantly building your business, when something like that pops up, you already have a lot of people that you're working with and talking with. So it's so much less of a desperate act of begging people for, an order, which nobody likes that feeling. Like, I think we've probably all been there at some point in time. We're like, gosh, I just need one more order. Like, I cringe when I see people put on Facebook, I'm only $1,000 to my next promotion. Can you help me out? No, I have bills to pay. Why am I going to help you out? Like, the wording is horrible. So I want to give you a scenario just to kind of help you understand where this conversation is going. And I'm purposely picking New Orleans because I know a lot of people did get to go on that trip, or you are familiar with New Orleans. And if you're not, just imagine a very highly populated tourist place. So pick the most populated tourist place that you've been, that you know, picture that in your mind. So you're going down along the streets and there is a musician on one of the street corners, and they are like playing the drums, or maybe they're playing the guitar, and they are like amazing. Like they should be on a stage somewhere and on a street corner. And you just instinctively like stop and you listen and you enjoy it. And like you tell your friend, my gosh, they're so good. I can't believe they're so good. They're just like on the corner. And then you see their little buckets out and you just immediately, like, you grab a 5, a 10, whatever, and you're putting it in the bucket. You're like, you're amazing. You do what you need to do with this money because you're just amazing. And then you get a couple blocks down their street and there's a guy sitting there and he has a sign saying, can you help? And he's got his bucket out. And you're like, oh, homeless guy, next corner, let's go around, let's go wide out into the street, like let's go past him, right? The homeless guy is begging for money. So is the musician, but he's offering something. He has something amazing. And that is what you have to remember. You are not homeless. You are not desperate. You're not like out for blood because you can't feed your family with these orders. You are offering something amazing that people who enjoy it are going to want to pay for it. Courtney, I tell you, it came to me in the shower today. It was almost like driving in the car with you. Courtney and I spent a solid 48 hours together driving and all the fun stuff. We did some amazing, I don't know, we've already decided we should ride in the car a lot together because we have some of our best ideas. But you just have to remember that you are not the homeless person. Okay. You're not begging people for money. You're not sitting there helpless, pitiful, asking for scraps. You have something that people are looking for. Now, in those exact same scenarios, Some people walked right past the musician because they didn't like the song, or maybe they're not a fan of guitars. Maybe they would have preferred somebody playing the flute. Like, I don't know, they just walk on. And some people did throw money at the homeless person and they're like, oh, that's so sad. Other people walked by the homeless person and was like, well, if he hadn't done drugs when he was 17, he'd have a house. Be like all the things that people say, right? So my point is, when you are offering what you have, you are building a business. You have an amazing product. You have an amazing pricing structure. You have an amazing comp plan. You have a pretty great upline, if I say so myself. You have all these things that you're building your business with. It's not going to be for everybody, and that's okay. Not everybody wants to stop and listen to someone play guitar. Not everybody wants to stop and listen to like I just remember the 2 kids in New Orleans that were actually playing the drums on 5-gallon buckets. They were amazing. Like, everybody stopped in their tracks. Everybody was throwing money at them. Might have helped that they were kids, but they were amazing musicians. And what they offered was something that grabbed people's attention because they loved what they were doing. They were genuine about what they were doing, and they were talented at what they were doing. So the more you become passionate about your Thrive, authentic about why you share it, and authentic with who you are when you are talking to people about Thrive versus constantly worrying about, wonder what kind of deal I can give them. Wonder if I have a DFT. Wonder if they want that new promo. I bet they're not going to buy the whole thing. Maybe somebody's offering free shipping. Like, we get in our own heads and we start spinning, and that's the homeless desperate person. They're literally, they will take a penny or they will take a $10 bill. They don't care. They'll take whatever you have. And when you get into that mindset, you're going to do more harm than good. Like, people will say something like, oh, I don't want to make this post because it seems salesy. Well, if you already know it seems salesy, then don't do it. Like, you already know that. Stop yourself. What would you want to see somebody talk about on Facebook? What would you want to read about? When you were feeling crappy and your body hurt or you weren't sleeping at night, what were the things that jumped out at you? It was somebody else talking about changing their life, like changing or sharing, like, in a compassionate manner. It wasn't like, hey, I've got the thing that'll make you sleep. All I need is $25. Like, it's not like that. I did not used to sleep. I would sleep all night long and wake up exhausted. And I finally have a way not to do that. I can help you do that. When you come from a place of compassion and quality, like when you think about like somebody building a business, like you're truly like you want this business to be something that is lasting. You want this, like when somebody, like I just think of people I know that have businesses, including myself. It's not like, hey, let's try this for a few months and see. We'll skip some corners. We might not be able to do everything we tell our customers we're going to do, but we're just going to try it. Like no one goes into business like that. You go into business thinking, I want to be the best at what I do. I want customers to rave about me. I want them to think that my service is impeccable or my product is awesome. You have the ability to do all of that. So people are not a number. As soon as you start treating people like a number, you're back into that homeless mindset. Is this resonating with anybody besides Courtney? Courtney's like the only one that really talked to me. So like, I mean, do you ever find yourself feeling desperate? And when you feel desperate, to me, it's such a ooey feeling. You know, you start feeling ooey about yourself or ooey about your business. Maybe you start that's when you start worrying about what people think of you. And it's not because you're really truly worried about what people think of you. It's because you're thinking something about yourself. Like the second there are 2 Sandra Dilbecks, and it's freaking me out because they are not lined up. And it literally looked like there were 2 separate people. Oh my God. Anyway, you know, like you project your feelings onto other people. So if you're feeling ooey and salesy and desperate, that's when you're like, oh, I wonder what they think about me. Like, I wonder, I bet they think I'm just out for their money. I don't want anybody to think I'm just out for their money. Well, then don't be out for their money. Be out for their business. Be out because you be the person that makes a connection with them and keeps the connection with them. You know, like when we lose somebody to auto ship, like every now and then again, somebody will cancel an auto ship. The next thing you know, the people are like, ah, she canceled her auto ship. I can't believe it. Like, she says she can't afford it, but I just saw she went on a vacation. Bitch can afford a vacation. That's the desperate mindset. That is the homeless guy on the corner who says, I can't believe you walked by and didn't put a 20 in my bucket because you just left that restaurant. I know you dropped 150 on your dinner, right? That's the difference. You have to remain. Sonia says, I'm feeling that way now. It's like, what do I say in these chats when we had the 15% off? Sandra, real quick, Sandra says the app is called I Am. Well, that's a very fitting name for that app. So you were not sure how to approach people with a 15% off coupon without sounding salesy. And I was in several chats about the 15% off, and I actually have a new customer that signed up last night, and she was a friend of a current customer. She's a referral. I didn't even bring up the dollar amounts or the discount until we went through what what were their health concerns, where were their struggles, was that something that I could offer them help with. I sent them my little video that I have that you guys all have access to, where it talks about how to take Thrive, what's in Thrive, what to expect, what not to expect. I gave them time to watch it. I said, now hit me with all your questions. Do you feel like this is something that could help you? I really feel like it could. And then, it always comes down to, well, how much is it? And honestly, last night, I think it was, we were just going to the football game, so it had to be like 5:30. I said, well, there's actually a promo this weekend. It's been going on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but I didn't know yet if what I had could actually help you, so I didn't talk about it. If you want to rush and put your order in, I can save you 15% off. But if you don't want to rush, that's fine. When you're ready, we will find a way to help you get started. And she was like, sounds great, sign me up. Now, I think she had already decided sounds great, signs me up based on all the work we had done prior. I've been the homeless person you were talking about. I hate that feeling. Yeah, none of us are going to be homeless ever again, ever. So I think when it comes to money, and especially promos, so again, there was a timetable on that promo, right? It was the weekend only. So there are times where you're like, oh my gosh, you only have 3 days. You're down to 2 days. You're down to 1 day. Da, 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 da. Like we get all like, woo, jazzed up and nervous. We have a promo this weekend. It could help you get started. If you are ready, I'm here to help you. If you're not, no problem. As soon as you put it back in their hands and you take the anxiety out of it and you leave it up to them, like you have to disconnect yourself from the choice of what they are going to do. You are here to offer them compassion and offer them help. You're building a business that helps people. I want you guys to think about every customer that you've ever had that you pushed into the order. And I have plenty of those in my first 6 months to 12 months. They're not around anymore. Some of them actually have come back around 4 years later because now they actually want to take, it's their time. So now they're asking the questions about Thrive. They're asking, how could this help them? I have one girl, I kid you not. When I very first started, I saved her half off a month of Thrive, which I thought was amazing. She disappeared. 2 years after that, her mom passed away. So I gave her credits for an entire month. She disappeared. She contacted me like, I want to say 8 months ago or 6 months ago, and was talking to me about Thrive as if it was something she had never taken, never seen, never understood. Because why? Because now she wants to feel good. Now she realizes that she wants something for it. She had no Thrive left. I'm pretty sure it probably got thrown away, the other 2 orders. She had obviously never taken it properly because she was asking me how to take it this time. That girl that started 6 or 8 months ago on her own because she wanted to, has auto shipped religiously. And in the last 2 months, she has put me in so many chats with her friends that she has now been thriving for free. Most of my new customers are coming from her. And I've talked to her about promoting and she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, no big deal. If and when you decide, I'll help you. Until then, you can keep referring all your friends you want, because that's pretty awesome because I get her customers, right? I had a lady miss out last night, but I wasn't going to go back and say, not in tonight. Do you want it? I'd sent the info to her and it was up to her. And I'll be danged if she didn't ask about it today, but I wasn't going to act desperate. Yes. So I was actually using this scenario over the weekend. You guys know one of my day jobs is personal training. It's not for everybody. Not everybody wants one. Not everyone thinks it's a good use of money. But does that mean I'm going to stop being a personal trainer? No. Oh my gosh, look at that baby. Olivia, I am in love. You've totally ruined the entire thing because she is the cutest thing in the world and I can't even think. Did you see her looking at the camera? Oh, Now they all are. Anyway, train of thought. Oh, so yeah, so personal training. If every time I heard someone say, well, personal training is expensive, or I can work out at home, or why would I need a trainer? I'm not going to quit doing what I do because of that. Tom and I started a new business over the summer. Does everybody in the Warren County area pay us to clean their garbage bins? No. Some people are like, that's crazy. Why would you pay somebody to do that? Some people are like, why would anybody even clean their garbage cans? Does that mean we stop doing what we do? No, because we have customers who like it. We're here for the people who want to do it. I'm here to train people who want to train. Our business is there to clean cans for people who want it done. And guess what? My Thrive business is there for people who want to thrive. I'm not begging. I'm not desperate. I know what I have is amazing. I know for a fact. And here's the thing, you guys, we've had people, and again, I always try to like put it into, I don't know why, but it makes sense to all of you when I talk about a different business besides our own. So we had people reach out to us when we first started the Ben Boss, and they were like, oh, can we get group discounts? Can we get neighborhood discounts? And I was like, yeah, 100 plus houses in one neighborhood get a discount. They were like, but I have 3 girlfriends. Okay, well, it's like $10. So why would I give you and your 3 girlfriends $10? Why would I take the time and the gas to drive out there and do that and give you a discount when I could just, I don't know, market to your girlfriends as it is? I don't give them discounts on that. Like if somebody wants a big discount, they got to do a big order, right? You just have to remember that what you have is it's worth time. It's worth money. It's important to keep that in the front of your mind. Like you all know as thrivers that if you lost your credits tomorrow, you would do everything you could to keep thriving. You all know that. Like nobody doubts that. And that's how customers are going to feel when they're ready and they come to you. But if you're pushing it on people and you're begging people for orders, it's not going to go well. You're going to end up with a bunch of non-promoting promoters, or you're going to end up with a bunch of customers who tell people it didn't work, right? How many times do we hear it didn't work because we basically talked them into trying the order? Now, sometimes people come to us and they say they want to use it and then they say it doesn't work. That's a 3-way chat. That's a whole other conversation. There's probably a health concern going on they're not sharing. There's all kinds of things that can lead into. But from the get-go, when you're twisting someone's arm to place an order, when you take personal offense that they don't place an order, you're going about it the wrong way. So just think about that. The next time somebody says, like, if I went to everybody on, okay, by the way, so here's a great, you know, we're always like, our friends and my mom and dad, my sister doesn't even thrive with me. There's not a single house on the road we live on that uses our Ben Boss service. Like they see it. They see us drive by all the time. They've asked us about it. They know what we do. Do I care? Hell no. I get in the truck, I pull out of this street and I go to the street where somebody wants it. So when you have somebody who is not interested, that's okay. It's not about you. It's about them. And it's about a product that you offer. It's not like a personal thing. And the sooner you can connect, like truly, honestly connect. And you guys, I'm not saying that there aren't days that it like somebody says no and I'm like, that bitch. Like what, you know, like it's like you get offended, but then I just stop. And I'm like, you know what? It's not for everybody. Next, I'm gonna go find out who it is for. I'm gonna keep showing people what it is that it does for me and what it has done for other people. And it's going to connect with somebody. Somebody's going to reach out and be like, hey, about that Thrive stuff. And honestly, I guess maybe too, because I mean, those of you that have been around as long as I have, like, you probably feel this way too. Like finally, after 5.5 years, people who you have talked to or had free accounts with, or they've liked your post or they've made fun of you, like whatever, all of a sudden now they're coming around. And they're like, so what, this Thrive stuff. I love the one, I had one a week or so ago. The girl's like, this Thrive stuff. Now you still do that, right? You're still connected with that? Yeah, I am. I'm pretty open about that also on all of my social media. So yeah, I'm still connected to it. What can I do for you? Sonia, it drives me nuts when the ones who come to me and want it and then crickets forever when you tell them about the details. Girl, do you know how many emails and text messages and phone calls we get about the Ben Boss in the last 6 months versus how many actual customers we have? But if I don't answer their questions, if I don't send them the pricing, if I don't tell them to follow us on Facebook, if I don't send them a message every now and then to remind them that, you know, we're still here, they're going to forget about me, and I'm not going to let them forget. They were curious enough once to ask about it. So I'm keeping them on our list. Like I have a list of people who have texted, called, emailed, whatever. And, you know, maybe we sent them the prices and they didn't like it, or maybe they didn't want to do like monthly or whatever. Like there was something that they weren't ready for. That's cool. We're still doing our business, and I'm still going to make sure they see what we're doing. So I get it. I get that it's like frustrating that they give you crickets, but if you focus on the crickets, you're going to miss all the birds that are chirping. Like there's a whole other world of people out there that want to do it. When you're focused on those crickets, just picture yourself. You're like the little homeless guy in the corner with your bucket, just sitting there hoping that somebody will help you. When if you just sing your song or you play your instrument and you put your heart and soul into what you're doing, it's going to catch the attention of someone who's like, yes, this is what I want. This is what I need. Edie said, I just signed up a girl who told me 3 years ago it was placebo. I love when people use that word. And now she'll be thriving. Oh, Sandra Delbeck. Okay, there you go.
Sorry, y'all. Like Samantha today, if y'all probably hopped on there and commented on her post and so forth. And most of y'all know the last few weeks for us have been incredibly insane. And it's just been hard for me to post, period. Not that I couldn't physically, I couldn't mentally. And I was like, I got to get my butt back in the game here. So I took Samantha's post. It says share.
Mm-hmm.
So I shared it, and I made a comment before I hit, to go ahead and post it. And I said, click below and find my comment. Nice. And so anybody who went on there from my wall had to click in order to read all the comments. Well, y'all may have seen that one of my friends made a comment on there. Y'all, she did a sample pack with me 3.5 years ago. And then she was like, nah, I'm not interested. She even called me this afternoon after I sent her a little voice clip. Hey, I'm going to invite you to Vibin' and Thriving. She called me to tell me she had accepted the invite, and she's got a lot of stuff happening here in the next few days. She goes, you're going to be hearing from me. It's her time. Mm-hmm. I'm not giving up. I'm not going to.
Mm-hmm. It's her time. You're right. And I was just going to mention Vibin' and Thriving. So obviously in that case, Samantha is a promoter that we all know and love and we can trust. Sometimes you're going to see promoter, like other promoters not on our team, where they make a post and you're like, I want to share that because that is so good. Please remember, if you share another promoter's post, you may drive someone to that promoter. But and obviously in Sam's case, no. But you guys, Vibin' and Thriving, that customer group, every post that's in there is public. You can share those. When I ask people to share their tips and tricks about Thrive, and people like dive in and say lots of water, blah, 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 you can share that. And the girl that told you 2 years ago it didn't work, and you said, are you drinking enough water? And she sees that and she's like, oh, she did tell me to drink water and I didn't do it. That's what all these people say. Or there was an amazing post the other day that a customer made. It was one of Ricky's. He talked about how I was so nervous at first because it started off with, I am so PO'd, because there's kids on here now. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I like hurried up and grabbed the phone and I kept reading. And I was like, this is like the most amazing customer testimonial ever. It's public. You can share it. That is a public group. Everything in our customer group is public. Not all customer groups are that way, but I did ours on purpose because I think it's a great way to get, like Sandra said, you can share those things and be like, peek the comments, or, you could even share it and be like, what would your answer be? Like if it said, I don't know, like I'm trying to think some of the random, like I think one time I said, are you an early bird or a night owl? Like you could have shared that exact thing, because even if it wasn't necessarily a Thrive question, they might be like, well, what's this Vibin' and Thriving group where people are talking about how they worked out today, or whether they got up early or not, or where they like to vacation. I mean, you'll notice there's a lot of Thrive and there's some non-Thrive in there, and that's on purpose. So you can share that group and people can request. Trust me, we've had some weirdos request and I have to refuse them. But if I see it's one of your friends, I'm putting them in the group. So yeah, use that. Ricky says, I know, I was freaking out. I went over to their house Saturday, met them both. They invited me over because they were so happy to be thriving. That does my heart good. And again, those are people who were like, okay, Ricky, like we want to take care of ourselves. We're ready to try something. Like Ricky didn't beg them. She didn't beg, borrow, and plead. As a matter of fact, like case in point, last night when I went to Place, I had talked so much about that 15% off promo and how you could help somebody get 2 months for the a lot less price, that when the girl went to place her order and she's like talking to me through Messenger, I started to put it in the cart for her, and I started to add the extra capsules and pull a DFT. And then I was like, wait a minute. And I went back and listened to my voicemail, and I was like, I never offered her anything free. I just told her she could have the 15% off 1 month. I'll be damned. But again, it's because I told her I'm not in a rush. If you're in a rush, we'll do it. If you're not in a rush, cool, we'll do it, whenever you're ready. The sooner you make it less desperate, the more they're going to realize it is about them. Ricky said, a friend requested her, the wife, and she said she watched me for 3 months and finally reached out. And again, those are the people that, like that was a silent watcher. And some of us have people who we know are watching us and we consider it crickets because they're not talking to us, but it doesn't mean they're not watching us. It so totally does not mean that they're not watching us. My biggest thing, I think, is that you just have to keep living your Thrive life and do it unapologetically. This is a conversation Courtney and I had in the car. There are no men on here right now. Well, Caleb's cutting pumpkins. I have never met a man who said, I'm so ashamed that I'm making money. I don't want people to think I'm trying to make money. That is a female thing. And shame on all of us, because what do we do when we see somebody making a post about whatever? We're like, that bitch just wants our money. She's just trying to make money. She's all about the money. Okay, business is business is business. Nobody is mad at McDonald's. They're killing us with heart disease, but I'll be damned if the drive-thru's not full, right? Live your Thrive life. Live your business. Be proud of your business. I can't tell you how many of you hang your heads sideways instead of being proud of what you have. I can tell you right now, if somebody came up to me and said, I heard Fitness for You sucks, I'd be like, let's go at it, girl. I'll tell you all the reasons it doesn't, and I'm going to kick your butt right here in the parking lot. Like, I would never back down. But if somebody says to you, I heard Thrive doesn't work. Oh my God, people are talking bad about me. Everyone's being mean to me. Like, no, be proud of your business. This is you. Like, I don't know. I just can't believe how many people don't just live for their business. Like, I know for a fact you would fight. Like, if I told you guys right now that somebody called and said Fitness for You sucked and they put it in the I don't know, the paper, which one, the paper or whatever, you would all be writing letters to the editor. You'd all be making Facebook posts about how they are wrong. Those people are great, blah, blah. You would totally stand up for me in a heartbeat. Stand up for yourself, stand up for your business, stand up for your dreams and your goals. Because I'm telling you, if you don't, nobody else is going to do it for you. The second you start worrying about what people think about you, you have got to stop, spin in circles 3 times, shake your head, and move on. Like, get it out of your head. I don't care what anyone says about me. I'm not saying it might not hurt my feelings, but it's sure as hell not going to stop me from living my dreams and going after my goals. And I don't want it to stop you guys. You are not desperate. You're not homeless. You are legitimately building a business. And I talked about this last night on the power plan, but just in case any of you weren't on there, for those of you who are worried about, well, I'm only 12K or I'm only this, you too, if you stick to this long enough, can be a Lavelle millionaire. Not every millionaire on that stage is a 200K. Just because there are 200Ks making less money than me. There are 80Ks making more money than me. It's your business, what you do with it. Those accolades, the trips, all those things, that's fun. And yes, we use it as a thing to try to bring people into the business, but it doesn't mean that your business is better or not. Like I was just saying over the weekend, I would love if somebody would be like, oh my gosh, Bin Boss, you got your 150th customer. Woohoo, we're going to give you a badge. No, all we have are bills to pay. So I have to go get more new, even more new customers. So if you take your eye off of the fluff, the first thing I would tell you to do is stop following a bunch of damn Thrivers. Go through and unfollow them right now. If it's your direct upline or your direct level ones, maybe not, but unfollow Thrivers so you actually start seeing real life again, and you stop seeing all the people with their Louis Vuittons going on their blah, blah, blahs. You will remember why you're in this business. You are there to help people, not to covet what someone else has and not to feel guilty about what you don't have, but you're here to build your business. So that's all I have. Does anyone have any questions? I hope this helps some of you. Any of you that have ever hung your head low because somebody said something about your business, you've got to have a fighting spirit. You have to. If you don't, call me and I'll fight for you until you get yourself picked back up. All
Okay,
right.
sorry.
What?
Okay, everything goes back to a book, you know that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So there's a children's book that I used to read in my class, and it has this girl on the front, and it's called Stand Tall, Molly Lou Mellon. And so when you say those things to us, I just stand over here, I just go, Stand Tall, Molly Lou Mellon. And that's what I want to say to myself, and that's what I want to say to everybody, because you know what, because we are amazing
Yes.
ladies, and the things that we can achieve, there's no reason why we can't. So stand tall, Molly Lou.
I love it. I love it. I want you guys to maybe write this down if you need to see it, if you have trouble remembering it. You know, like you are a small business owner. Like when people talk about Small Business Saturday and shop local and stuff, that's you. You are a small business. You are lucky enough to not have to pay rent for a brick and mortar location. You don't have to pay electric. You don't have to pay a landlord. You don't have to do any of it. You don't have to have insurance on your building. You don't have to buy inventory and sell it. You are the ultimate small business because you have zero overhead. But small business is what this country runs on. And the majority of small businesses, guess who own them? Women, not men. So remember that and run with it. Be proud of what you have. And if you're not proud of it yet, work really hard to get there. Okay, anyway, I'll start preaching again. Love you all. Bye. It'll be recorded. You can have it on YouTube. Yay.